Sophie Thatcher has been going on a generational run. You know, she was in The Boogeyman last year. She was in Heretic. She stars on Yellow Jackets, and she is probably one of the best parts of Yellow Jackets. And you know, she's an incredible actress, and I definitely think that there's going to be an Oscar with their name on it in the near future. But with all that being said, I just got out of watching Companion. This is one of the movies that I was really looking forward to checking out this year. This is a horror movie, um, but also a thriller. More so thriller than horror, I would say. Uh, but I don't know how I could talk about this movie without spoiling what actually goes on, or if people didn't already kind of pick up what this movie was going to be about just off the trailer. So I'm gonna try not to spoil anything, but it's a very fascinating approach to something familiar that we have seen um, very often, especially within this genre. But the story is about um, Sophie Thatcher's character, Iris. She is in a relationship with Quaid's character, Josh, and she's about to go with him out into this like kind of cabin in the woods, but it's really not. It's actually this dude Sergei's house. He's like this old Russian gangster in his like mid 40s, or just wannabe gangster. I don't know. The dude was way too old to be around that group. You know what I'm saying? It's really funny. But then you got Josh's other friends there as well, Kat and Eli, and Eli is there with his boyfriend Patrick. Now, there's an interesting thing that goes on in this movie that I'm so glad that it kind of took its time, and it was like a slow burn in the very beginning, and then keeps surprising you as the movie goes along, where you think, oh, this is going to play out like this, or this is going to play out like that. But no, this movie is actually really smart and does a lot of unique things. What I'm really surprised, though, about this movie is how funny it is. Like, there's plenty of times where my audience and myself were just laughing at what was going on on the screen, or just the dialogue, the action, and how kind of not I'm not gonna say like gory, because it's not overly gory, but the amount of violence used in this movie is very interesting as well. There's this really interesting kill with a corkscrew, or like an automatic or electric corkscrew or some shit like that. That was actually pretty fucking cool. Um, but yeah, there are some scenes that are actually pretty fucking brutal too. Overall, I had a really fun time with this movie. I really like Sophie Thatcher's performance. Jack Quaid definitely surprised me, because it was at times I'm like, man, like, when is he going to start kicking it up? And man, he definitely goes from like a 5 to like a 10 to, by the time you get to like the third act of this movie. And the story is really dope. The supporting cast, you know, is kind of forgettable outside of like Patrick. But like I said, it's really about Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher's character. Is about Iris and Josh and the relationship, and how Iris is trying to process her relationship with Josh. And it just is a really fascinating story for a movie that's only like an hour and like 37 minutes. It's really well paced. It keeps you entertained throughout the whole entire runtime. There's not one moment in this movie where I feel like the story kind of slows down or takes me out. It just keeps you engaged. Also, I will say this has to be one of, if not the strongest January release, even though it is towards the end of the month. Normally, we don't get good movies around January, and it's just where studios, everybody knows, studios just like to dump movies in January just because it's the top of the year. Not a lot of people go to the movies around that time, but man, definitely go check this out and let me know how you guys feel about Companion in the comments below. I can't wait to see what Sophie Thatcher does next. I love that she's kind of sticking with the horror genre. I do want to kind of see her step out and do other things as well, but she is definitely becoming a household name within horror. But till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.